Thank you, Mr. Chair. During this global pandemic and crisis we've seen, despite all the difficulty, have seen heroic efforts made by our essential workers. They have stepped up during a time of difficulty to leave their houses, oftentimes not only to leave their houses, but to directly engage and provide treatment and assistance to individuals who are COVID-19 positive or persons under investigation. In a time when we've asked the broader public to stay home in order to protect themselves, essential workers have been asked to go to work and continue to go to work despite the dangers that they face, both to their own health and safety, but to that of their families when they were exposed. As a Marine who served in the Marine Corps, when we were sent into combat or into harm's way, we were appropriated combat pay as an additional add-on to our normal to reflect the additional danger that was faced beyond what was normal. And so I think that it is appropriate that we take consideration of hazard pay for our county workers. These are our county workers who are on the front lines, who are not only leaving their homes, but putting themselves at risk and in danger. It is also, I think, an easier conversation to have now because of the more than $300 million in federal CARES Act funding that has been allocated, funding that is entirely appropriate and okay to be used to modestly compensate our workers for the dangers that they face. We've seen a number of counties around California who have taken some action: Alpine, Humboldt, Marin, Merced, San Francisco, San Joaquin, Tehama, and other counties that have taken some steps to try and recognize the sacrifice and the danger these workers are facing. And so our action today is to ask the Chief Administrative Officer to work with the county collective bargaining units to assess which job classifications of essential workers would fit in each of the tiers we're proposing, then to do an analysis of the cost and bring that back to our board for consideration of hazard pay. And the framework that is being proposed is Tier 1, recognizing those workers who face the greatest danger and greater hazard, a 5% salary increase for county employees who work directly with COVID positive individuals or persons under investigation. This would continue either for the duration of the public health crisis or until the end of the calendar year, whichever came first. Tier 2 would be a 3% salary increase for county employees who not only continue to come to work, but engage directly with the public, with members of the public through their regular job. Tier 3 is a 2% salary increase for county employees who are required to report to work and are exposed to their coworkers. And then for our county workers who are telecommuting, the ability to submit specific expenses, work-related expenses, capped at a maximum of $100 a month of things, expenses they have incurred directly tied to their job and having to do their job from home. And again, to pay for this, we are proposing using the CARES Act funding. San Diego County has received $334 million. This would be a fraction of what we have received in order to provide our workers who are on the front lines little help and assistance during this difficult time. So again, today's action is just directing the Chief Administrative Officer to work with the bargaining units to assess how many of our essential workers would fit into each of those three tiers, to do a fiscal analysis of what that cost would be, and then bring it back to our board for consideration. And with that, I would make a motion to approve.